Hey there folks, this is GreenXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 192. In the last episode, we wrapped up chapter 8, Matsurubayashi, which was huge. Our last chapter was huge, as it should be, as is wrapping up the entirety of the main story, I think. So, what we're going to be doing today, it might just be a really small episode, I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's the staff room which we unlocked after finishing the game, so let's go for that. Hello, this is Ryukishi07. Thank you for playing Matsurubayashi. No, thank you very much for playing Higurashi when they cry until the end. Matsurubayashi is, in a way, the solution episode for the situation with Takano and the kids starting from halfway through Minagoroshi. How can they defeat Takano's conspiracy? How can they reach their ideal ending? I wrote this episode as a duel between you, the reader, and me, the writer. So if you think you created a better resolution world than my Matsurubayashi, that means you've defeated Ryukishi in the duel. I, Ryukishi07, have provided two resolutions. One's how to fight against Takano. First, here's a hint from the Minagoroshi chapter. You find out about Takano's conspiracy, which relies on Emergency Manual 34. Next, here are hints from Watanagashi and Miyakashi chapters. It's been 48 hours after Rika's death, yet the village is peaceful. If you put those two things together, obviously the basis of the Emergency Manual, which Hifumi Takano wrote, that everyone will develop terminal symptoms within 48 hours, isn't true. When you put these two together, you can realize that if Rika's body was discovered 48 hours after her death, it's possible to prevent the final operation. In the Matsurubayashi chapter, I wrote about an attack inside and a defend inside like a novel. If I were to simply write about the resolution, all I had to write was for Ueshi to announce that Rika died at least 48 hours ago, and Takano's conspiracy would fall apart once the news reached Tokyo. This is rather an easy resolution, like a puzzle, so I'm sure many of you got this right. The other resolution was the ideal ending for the world. To answer this, I have to explain the worldview of this story first. There are hints all over, but the crucial ones are in the Tatarigoroshi and Minagoroshi chapters. Sadako's uncle comes home, Sadako's life becomes miserable. How can she be rescued from the situation? If this story was an exercise in murder, then the Tatarigoroshi chapter is the correct answer. Keiichi kills Teppei and hides his body well. It's a happy ending. But I didn't end the episode that way. Instead I denied it with a bad ending. The resolution the worldview of Higurashi when they cry advocates is a non-violent one, with everyone united together. That's established in question chapters such as Onikakushi, Watanagashi, and Tatarigoroshi. In those worlds, when someone becomes suspicious about everything and worries about it alone, things get worse and that leads to tragedy. The Miyakashi chapter is a sublimation of that situation. On the other hand, when one talks to their friends, it's revealed that the causes of the tragedies are quite silly. That's indicated in the Tsumehoroshi and Minagoroshi episodes. In other words, can you see that in the worlds of Higurashi, anything can be overcome when people talk to each other and help one another? Unfortunately, that doesn't happen in reality. Helping each other creates friction, and oftentimes working alone is a lot simpler. However, we always hope that we can connect with other people and understand each other so that we can face any difficulty. In that sense, this world's a fantasy. That's right. In the worlds of Higurashi, there is one magical rule. That is to talk to others and accept help from them. Then you can defeat anything. With that, it's possible to make a miracle happen. If that could be cast into an absolute rule, it would be a sort of magical, systematic miracle. Just like what Hanyu and her friends said in the story. That's the worldview of Higurashi when they cry. If you follow that rule and think about an ideal ending, I bet the first thing you'll think about is an ending where all the club members unite and defeat Takano. Actually, there are scenes in the Matsurubayashi chapter that affirm that sort of ending. However, at the same time, Takano is described as a very lonely person. By doing so, I raise a question about the resolution. Everyone else unites, defeats Takano, and makes her into a sacrifice. This is a happy ending for everyone except Takano. I don't know, see, she gets away okay. It's a very popular style of story for the protagonist to unite together and sacrifice the antagonist. Aliens come to the Earth to invade us, so the world unites and defeats the aliens. Hooray for humans, we must all get along. It's a very popular storyline all over the world. There are plenty of stories that use aliens, devils, monsters as clear bad guys and make them into sacrifices. Two parties fighting with each other become allies once the third party shows up. Storylines like these are indeed exciting. By adding a sacrifice, differing parties unite and become allies. To create this situation, there has to be always the third party, the sacrifice, as well. I'm sure many of those who created such stories must have already noticed that. We always add a third enemy that can't possibly unite with us. To make up with each other, we try to find a common enemy. Am I the only one who feels that describes our world today? In reality, this world belongs only to humans. There are no aliens or devils or monsters, so for us to find an enemy, we'll have to fight each other forever. To make up with each other, we need a new enemy, so we just end up fighting someone else. In this chapter of Higurashi, I declared that to be the demon of the world of man. With these explanations of the worldview here in mind, do you wonder if the resolution of defeating Takano is in fact an ideal resolution of the Matsurubayashi chapter? That's right, it's basically the same foolishness found in Higurashi. According to that logic, the Minagoroshi chapter isn't the best resolution for the problems that surround Takano either. Do you understand that? How can they make up with Takano? You wouldn't suggest to make Tokyo into a new enemy and let the club members join with Takano, would you? If I continue to talk about this issue, I'll probably end up mentioning something religious, so let me stop you. What kind of ending would be the best outcome following the worldview of Higurashi when they cry? Perhaps it's something better than the Matsurubayashi chapter. You can consider this a graduating question for Higurashi. Maybe I'll leave it as my final gift to those who enjoyed this tale for 4.5 years. 4.5 years, I think it's been longer coming to Steam, which is quite shocking. Maybe. Thanks for reading this extremely complicated story. In the end, what was all this for? If I were to put the answer to that question in one word, it would be entertainment. It's not important if you're able to answer the riddles. After all, if you enjoyed yourself, you won. Ryokishi07 will continue to challenge you. Higurashi, When They Cry ends here, but I hope I get to see you again in a different world. There will be more. I know he keeps saying this, but there will be more arcs. What kind of work do I want to create next? Maybe it's fitting to choose my next work from an infinite number of possibilities while listening to the chorus of the Higurashi. I want to express my gratitude to all the people who have supported me until today. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ryokishi07. Oh, I thought he would have given a hint to the secret ending. But he didn't. I don't think the game ever does, from what I've noticed. But we will be going for it. I got my Google at the ready. I'll put it that way. Achievement unlocked, Matsurubayashi staff room. Okay, just the one to go. I'm not going to leave the game, because I heard if I leave the game and come back on, it sort of bugs out the chapter jump or something like that. I might have misread that, so don't quote me on it. So, this has been Greeny XI. I hope you've enjoyed this really short episode, especially compared to the last couple of episodes. I'll see you again in a bit for the grand finale of the arc. See you in a bit, folks.